If the person you love the most in your life was brutally murdered in front of the entire world during a live television broadcast, what would you feel? When your heart shatters into pieces and the very law and system that are supposed to deliver justice turn their backs on you, what would you do? Would you just cry and walk away? Or would you turn that pain into the most dangerous weapon in the world? Hello, friends. Today, we're going to talk about the 2025 action thriller, The Amateur. This isn't just another shoot and kill type of movie. It's a powerful story about love, loss, and how an ordinary man uses his intelligence to hunt down some of the world's most dangerous terrorists. So, without wasting time, let's dive into the story. The story begins with a young man named Charlie Heller. He's an exceptionally skilled cryptographer working for the Central Intelligence Agency. But Charlie isn't your typical action hero like James Bond from other movies. He's quiet, introverted, and a sensitive person who prefers to keep to himself. The only hobby in his calm and silent life is carefully repairing an old Cessna airplane he owns. The way he works on this plane shows what kind of person Charlie really is. Someone who pays attention to even the smallest details and has the patience to fix anything. Because when something breaks, Charlie has a unique ability to rebuild it, even better than it was before. Charlie's entire world was his beloved wife, Sarah. One day, Sarah had to travel to London for a work assignment. She warmly invited Charlie as well, saying, "Come with me." But Charlie, tied up with his office work and repairing his plane, gently declined the trip. What Charlie never even imagined, not even in his dreams, was that sending Sarah alone to London would become the biggest mistake of his life. That goodbye would leave behind a regret in his heart that would last forever. The next day, Charlie is at the Central Intelligence Agency headquarters, going about his duties as usual. That's when he receives a highly dangerous data file from someone using the codename Inquilime. For someone as skilled as Charlie, it takes only a moment to realize that this is no ordinary file, because the data inside contains a secret powerful enough to shake the entire CIA. Charlie begins analyzing the data using his computer expertise. That's when he uncovers a chilling truth. A high-ranking official in a special division of the CIA, Arix Moore, has been fabricating drone strike reports to cover up illegal operations. Because of these fake operations, innocent lives have been lost. Realizing the scale of corruption carried out by someone at the very top of the organization he works for, Charlie is deeply shaken and disturbed. Meanwhile, in London, Sarah faces an attack that no one could have ever expected. A ruthless terrorist leader named Horst Schiller storms into the hotel where she is staying. Along with his armed group, he takes everyone in the hotel hostage. Among them is Sarah, the person Charlie loves more than his own life. The entire world watches this horrifying situation unfold in shock. Horst Schiller is a monster with absolutely no sense of mercy. Driven by a desire to showcase his power and cruelty to the entire world, he does something unimaginably horrific. Right in front of live television news cameras with the whole world watching, he brutally kills the innocent Sarah. At that moment, Charlie's entire world comes to an end. Is there any greater tragedy than watching the final moments of the woman you loved more than your life unfold on a screen like this? The tears streaming from Charlie's eyes and the sheer shock on his face are enough to shatter our own hearts. Afterwards, Central Intelligence Agency Director Samantha, along with Charlie's boss, Arix Moore, arrive to officially inform him about Sarah's death. Although they express their condolences, Charlie can clearly feel that there's no real emotion behind their words. To them, this is just another death. But for Charlie, this is nothing less than the end of his entire world. After Sarah's death, Charlie completely breaks down mentally, but he doesn't allow that pain to consume him. Instead, he turns that pain into fuel into a burning fire within himself. Using his extraordinary computer knowledge and code-breaking skills, Charlie begins his own private investigation. As a result, he manages to track down all 4 terrorists responsible for Sarah's death: Mishka, Elish, Gretchen, and the main killer, Horst Schiller. With all the evidence in hand, Charlie approaches his superiors, Alex Moore and Caleb. He asks them to launch an official operation to capture the killers. But these corrupt officials immediately reject his request. They claim that the Central Intelligence Agency cannot waste its resources on something like this. It's at this moment Charlie realizes the harsh truth. The very system he trusted and served for so long has now turned its back on him. But Charlie is not someone who gives up easily. He decides to play his final card. Secretly meeting Alex Moore, Charlie presents the evidence he has about the falsified drone strike reports Moore created, and blackmails him. Charlie doesn't want money. All he asks for is field training, and the opportunity to go after the terrorists himself. With no other choice, and fearing his secrets will be exposed, Moore is forced to agree to Charlie's demands. As per Charlie's request, he is sent to a secret CIA training facility in Virginia, known as the Farm. There, his training is assigned to Colonel Robert Henderson, a highly strict and experienced officer. Henderson's training is anything but easy. Charlie, who spent most of his life sitting in front of a computer, is now forced to pick up weapons and learn how to fight. During the training, Henderson begins to understand Charlie better. Charlie is a natural genius, capable of building bombs, hacking systems, and crafting complex plans with ease. His mind works faster than a computer. But Henderson notices one major weakness. Charlie cannot bring himself to shoot another human being. He certainly doesn't have the cruelty within him to take a life. This clearly shows that Charlie is not a killer. He's just an ordinary man. Meanwhile, the corrupt officials, Alex Moore and Caleb, secretly break into Charlie's house to find the data drive he had hidden. But when they finally check it, they're completely shocked. There's no secret data on it at all. What Charlie did was a perfect bluff, just a smart move to scare Moore. Realizing that they were outsmarted by an ordinary computer analyst, Moore is filled with intense anger. Furious after realizing he was tricked, Alex Moore loses his temper. He immediately orders Henderson to kill Charlie. But Charlie is always one step ahead. He had secretly planted listening devices, bugs, in Moore's office, so he hears the order to have him killed. Realizing his life is in danger, Charlie escapes from the training camp and heads to Europe. Now, he's not just running from terrorists, he's also being hunted by the very Central Intelligence Agency he once worked for. Charlie's first target is Gretchen Frank, who is in Paris. He secretly tries to break into her house. But this is where we get a brilliant moment. Usually, heroes like James Bond would just kick the door in. But Charlie? He struggles while watching an online tutorial, carefully trying to unlock the door. This moment clearly shows that he's not a professional assassin. He's just an amateur. Somehow, Charlie manages to corner Gretchen. He traps her inside a special medical chamber, a hypobaric chamber. Charlie knows that Gretchen has a severe allergy to pollen, so he releases pollen into the chamber, putting her under intense distress, trying to force her to reveal Schiller's location. In this moment, we see just how far Charlie has been pushed. His desire for revenge has started to turn him into something darker. But just as Gretchen is about to suffocate and die, Charlie's conscience awakens. He realizes he cannot become a killer, that he shouldn't fall to the level of the terrorists. He quickly opens the chamber and saves her. However, in her panic, Gretchen runs away from Charlie and onto the street, only to be struck by a speeding van and killed instantly. Even though Charlie didn't intend it, fate itself delivers the punishment for her crimes. After Gretchen's death, Charlie escapes to Marseille. But Henderson doesn't give up easily. He tracks Charlie down and corners him inside a bar. there's no way Charlie can physically fight someone as experienced as Henderson. So instead, he uses his knowledge of chemistry. Inside the bar's restroom, he creates a small explosion, and in the chaos that follows, he cleverly slips away unnoticed. Next, Charlie travels to Istanbul to meet the mysterious Inquilene, the one who first provided him with information. Here, the truth is revealed. Inquilene is actually a woman named Davis. She is the widow of a Russian KGB agent who was killed. Just like Charlie, she is driven by a desire for revenge against the corrupt system that wronged her husband. Because they share the same pain, a unique bond begins to form between Davis and Charlie. With Davis's help, Charlie heads to Madrid to track down his next target, Mishka Blasic. Mishka is staying in a luxurious hotel. On the rooftop, there's a stunning glass-bottom swimming pool. And Charlie is about to build his next brilliant plan around that very pool. Charlie hacks into the hotel's maintenance system and uses his scientific knowledge to apply massive pneumatic pressure to the glass bottom of the pool. He threatens Mishka, "Tell me where Schiller is." But when Mishka refuses, the glass bottom of the pool suddenly shatters with a deafening crash. In an instant, Mishka falls from the top floor of the hotel and dies on impact. Without even picking up a gun, Charlie uses nothing but his intelligence and science to execute this plan, showing just how brilliant he truly is. After this incident, Henderson corners Charlie again, this time in the hotel's laundry area. But suddenly, another agent storms in and stops Henderson. Later, it's revealed that this agent was sent by CIA Director Samantha. She has secretly been helping Charlie, trying to protect him from the shadows. Meanwhile, the corrupt officer Caleb leaks Davis's location to the Russian intelligence agency, the Federal Security Service. A Russian team raids Davis's home. In the intense gunfight that follows, Davis sacrifices her life to help Charlie escape. After losing Sarah, she was the only ally Charlie had left. And now, he loses her too. This loss hardens Charlie even further. Now, Charlie's next target is Elish. He travels to Romania and disguises himself as a missile dealer to lure Elish into a trap. Remember the timid computer engineer from the beginning of the story? That man is gone. Now, in Charlie's eyes, there's only a cold, emotionless determination, completely devoid of mercy. Charlie attaches an improvised explosive device to Elish's body, leaving him trembling in fear of death. Terrified, Elish starts revealing everything. He confesses that Schiller is currently hiding on a heavily secured ship in the Baltic Sea. Once Charlie gets the information, he shows not even a fraction of mercy. He leaves Elish behind with the bomb and walks away, allowing him to die. Following this lead, Charlie arrives at the port city of Primorsk. There, he meets an old friend named Jackson, also known as the Bear. Jackson tries to convince Charlie to stop this dangerous mission and turn back. He warns him, "You're not a killer, Charlie. This path will destroy your life too." But Charlie refuses to stop. The journey he began for Sarah is something he is no longer willing to abandon. Next, Charlie does something unexpected. He deliberately allows Schiller's men to capture him. The guards take him aboard the heavily fortified ship in the Baltic Sea. Finally, Charlie comes face to face with Horst Schiller, the man who brutally murdered his beloved wife. At that moment, the emotions inside Charlie are beyond words. Standing before his enemy, everything he has endured comes crashing down inside him. Schiller believes Charlie is nothing more than a weak amateur. Mocking him, he places a loaded gun directly into Charlie's hand and says, "If you can, shoot me. Show me you've become a killer." In reality, Schiller's goal is to force Charlie into committing murder, dragging him down to the same level as himself, stripping away his humanity. But Charlie does something completely unexpected. He throws the gun to the ground. He refuses to become a murderer. Instead, Charlie uses his true weapon, his mind. He tells Schiller, "I've already hacked this ship's autopilot system." What Charlie had actually done was redirect the ship outside international waters and into a zone where the Finnish Navy is operating. Schiller's arrogance instantly turns into fear of death in this very moment. Within minutes, the Finnish Navy and Interpol arrive and surround the ship. They arrest Schiller alive. Charlie never intended to take justice into his own hands by killing him. He wanted the world to witness lawful justice. Charlie proves to the world that true heroism is not about using weapons, but about protecting humanity and delivering justice without losing one's morals. Charlie brings forward every piece of evidence he collected throughout the mission. Because of this, the corrupt network inside the Central Intelligence Agency is exposed. Alex Moore and Caleb are both arrested. Charlie ensures that no one connected to Sarah's death, directly or indirectly, escapes justice. After successfully completing everything, Charlie returns to the United States. There, he meets his trainer, Colonel Henderson. The same man who once saw him as weak now looks at him with deep respect. Henderson praises Charlie for completing such a dangerous mission without killing anyone, proving his strength in the most unexpected way. The final scene of the film is deeply emotional. Charlie returns to his home. The old Cessna plane he had been repairing for years is finally complete. Charlie boards the plane and flies into the blue sky as a tribute to his wife, Sarah. Instead of being consumed by revenge, he finds peace through justice. In the end, Charlie achieves a deep sense of emotional freedom and closure.